All right, this has got to be one of the most unlikely collaborations. Breitling watches and the NFL. Okay, right here you can see I have a Miami Dolphins version of the Breitling Chronomatic. Is that what it's called? If you guys don't believe me, look at right here on the Breitling website, Breitling.com, the American one. They have NFL Breitling watches. Okay, I was not expecting this, and I never would have predicted it either. Okay, I was just watching this YouTube video about how like Breitling watches is like the watch for sketchy operators, you know, in the what do you call it, the counterintelligence community, right? So we'll talk about that, but I just want to say that Watch Once Over already has the G-Shock G-Steel 2100. I mentioned him in the last podcast because I was saying that, this new ProMaster Land, it's like I don't think that I'll be getting it $700, but I was like, I bet that Watch Once Over will get it. He gets all the watches, right? And last night he came home from work, and sure enough, he had a watch. I mean, it wasn't the Citizen that we're looking at, but it was the G-Shock G-Steel. This 2110. I think that this title is incorrect on his video. Let me just pull it up. And all right, there we go. This is what I'm calling the clear coat silver. There's no color on this one, but it's the GM2110D. All right, and so the title for this video is incorrect. Right now it says the G-Steel 2100 series. Yeah, it's a 2100 series, but the correct model number is the GM2110D. All right, and he has them. He has them all. All right, the candy-colored ones. So the green one, the orange, right, and there's a blue one, the sky blue, and then there's your favorite, the navy blue. Okay, and guess what, guys? I purchased this brand new G-Shock watch. I need to upgrade my church watch. My church watch right now is the MWQ100, and it's not bad. $40 watch, looks kind of snazzy, but it's an El Cheapo Casio. We're gonna bump up the church watch game, and I'm not gonna go like all the way whole hog with the GMB 2100. That one is like $500. It's over $500. This brand new G-Shock, the G-Steel 2110D, is $300. Okay, so you go to the G-Shock website, and right at the top they have all 5 of these brand new watches to the GM2110D. And so we're going to click on Learn More, and it says metallic gleam in an octagonal bezel G-Steel with a colorful dial and folded metal bracelet. In the lineup, like we just went over them. But I purchased the navy blue one, and I had rush delivery, so I'm hoping to be able to wear it to church on Sunday. Okay, getting my this church watch here, and so it's $300 in the United States, and some of those other steel bracelet watches like the GMB 2100 AD, which it costs $550. Okay, and so that's the G-Steel watch with a metal bracelet that has the rich blue dial. Okay, $550. It's a lot. It would blow up my watch budget, which is already destroyed. I mean, at this point there is nothing left in the war chest. All right, and so there's a whole bunch of the GMB 2100s in a variety of colors. And I actually like the original one, which at first I did not like because it's one of those watches that has like a gray dial and lighter gray indices and then light gray. Everything's just a shade of gray. It's a very dark faced watch. And at first I was like, oh, this is terrible, the legibility. I mean, how could you even read it? But I think that, the more I wear G-Shocks, I kind of get used to their like edgy, stylish illegibility. And after fuming about it, kind of get over it and just enjoy the watch. But save some money off of those top of the line G-Steel watches and just get the GM2110D. Save money and you get a watch you can read, okay? And so I think that's part of the appeal of the navy blue color over the other colors, is that there's a lot of contrast between the dial and the indices and the hands, okay? Because the indices on this G-Steel watch are just brilliant steel. They're not colored in any way. It's steel, all right? And so that's good. I enjoy legibility. I don't know about you guys. I like to read my watch, okay? And I've made a lot of rant videos about my GWX56BB, my King that, is a negative LCD display. Oh, that's another thing about these new G-Steel watches, is that every color, and there's 5 colors, every color has a positive LCD. G-Shock is listening. They are reading your comments. They are watching my videos, and we are making a difference, okay? We are providing G-Shock with constructive criticism. We are the best focus group that they could ever imagine, because we're telling them exactly what we wanted to watch, and when it comes out, we're buying it, okay? So I'll leave a link to this one. I do not have the GM2110D in my hands yet, but Lord willing, it should arrive tomorrow. So stay tuned for that unboxing. Maybe we'll do it live, okay? As you can tell, I'm at home, and, in the chaos in the background, you can probably hear it. So, if I do a live stream of the unboxing of the GM2110D in navy blue, you can expect the same level of chaos in the background. You just got to put on your dad ears and ignore all the screaming, ignore the vacuum cleaner, ignore the kids, doing all the stuff that kids do. It's just chaos, right? Anyways, so I made a poll on my channel, and I thought that the silver color was going to be the runaway favorite, the clear coat, because it was my favorite color. Okay, and so I had a poll, and on YouTube, they only allow 4 options, and there's 5 colors. So I had 2 rounds. The first round, green, light blue, navy blue, and orange went at it, and the winner was going to face off against silver. So navy blue took 49% of the vote in a 4-way fight. Okay, and so then I was like, all right, round 2, the championship round. I pitted the steel clear coat GM2110D against the navy blue, and the navy blue got 76% of the vote. And I cut off how many votes there were. There was a lot of voting. Okay, guys were very interested in this. And the last time that there was a runaway favorite in a 4-way race, it was the GX56TU, the positive display king in the two-tone utility series. Okay, that one sold out. All right. Well, I guess it didn't technically sell out, but they did one of those things where it's like, oh, it's on back order, and instead of buying it, you had to click on notify me, and G-Shock would email you when it came back in stock, and then they found another pallet in the back of the warehouse, and like, oh, it's back in stock. That sold out. Okay, you cannot buy the GX56TU from Casio G-Shock now. Okay, and I gave you guys a link, and those of you who clicked on it are happy you did, because you bought it before it was unavailable. Everybody else is tearing out their hair and kicking themselves for not buying the watch when I told you to. Guys, what more do I have to do? The link is below. You go into the description of the video, all my videos, there's a link that you can buy the watch directly from G-Shock, and it's an affiliate link. It puts money in the war chest for this channel so we can look at more watches, and it doesn't cost more for you. It just helps out the channel, okay? So anyways, I bought the navy blue. Even though it wasn't my favorite color, I really like the clear coat steel, okay? I just love clear coat, all right? Like at work, sometimes like you get a new like warm end, like a fluid pump. One of the Rollagon fluid pumps at work got this brand new I guess it was a fluid end. They don't call it a warm end on the fluid pumps. And Josh thought it looked awesome, and I thought it looked awesome too. Well, Alan went and painted it in the maroon color and the purple color, and we're all like, why did you do that? Well, him and Mark just love painting stuff. Okay, Mark painted all this stuff on his pump, gave it like a totally new paint job with just a rattle can. And it's crazy. And I guess I'm on the same camp as Josh and Jared. I just love clear coat color. When you see the brushed steel beneath, I did not buy that color. I bought the navy blue. And some of you may be wondering, why in the world would I ever buy a color of a watch that I'm not totally sold on? And the reason is that I want to test this one out, and I don't think it's going to be like my long-term church watch. I mean, I don't dislike navy blue. I mean, but as a hyper-masculine man, I have so many navy blue shirts and pants and clothes that, I mean, it's kind of like I have enough navy blue. But the thing is that I may want to flip this one. I may want to sell it because I've seen leaked photos of a chronograph watch, a G-Steel chronograph watch, and I made a whole episode about it. That, you know, someone spilled the beans on the G-Steel chronograph, the G-Shock chronograph. No LCD. It's all dials. And I kind of I'm thinking that I'm going to settle into that one long term. So I kind of have to keep the door open for the resale value of the navy blue. And it was so popular among you guys that it's highly likely that the navy blue color is going to do exactly what the reissue Positive Display King did, which is sell out. Okay? If they're making 5 watch colors, okay, and they're like, oh, people love orange. You know, let's make as many oranges as we do navy blue. All those Syracuse fans and Tennessee fans, they're going to buy them up. Well, nobody else is, right? Everybody loves the navy blue. The navy blue was a runaway favorite. So I think that navy blue is going to sell out, and I bet you $100 that they did not make enough navy blue over there at the G-Shock factory, okay? Just based on your response on these polls. Like, look at this. 49%, nearly half of the respondents in this poll where we pitted green against light blue, against navy blue, against orange. It was a battle royale, okay? These colors were duking it out. Navy blue absolutely destroyed all the other colors, okay? Absolutely destroyed them, okay? And then I thought would be like the boss color, like the final round. Here's the boss, steel clear coat. Navy blue just ran right through the steel clear coat, okay? Just obliterated it in the voting, 76%. Okay, so they, I don't know if anybody wants to take the other side of my bet, but I am betting that navy blue will sell out. That you better buy it now that you have the chance. Okay, and this is your warning. Link below. All right. I got a comment that I'm going to read, and then we'll go back to look at the Breitling watches. Okay. No, you know what? Let's look at the Breitling watches, and we'll get to this comment. All right. So I pulled up the Miami Dolphins color because the Miami Dolphins color is the most ridiculous color, right? I mean, it's like football. You're supposed to be like tough, like hardcore, like the Raiders. Okay, the Raiders have the best, the black and white, the best attitude, and you look at the old-fashioned Raiders colors. Black and white, like we go all the way back to the Oakland Raiders or LA Raiders, whatever they used to be. I kind of lost track. They were Oakland Raiders when I was a young man, but anyways, the Raiders matched the attitude of their color scheme and their logos and everything. Okay, the Dolphins are this ridiculous color. It's like as ridiculous as a dolphin, Like you have all these awesome mascots like Vikings, Raiders, even the Patriots. But then like Dolphins, woohoo, we're Dolphins. We're going to play football. Haha. And we have this wacky green color. Yay. And so I don't get it. But anyways, I pulled that color up because Breitling has made a watch for the Dolphins, and the dial is Dolphins, whatever that color is. I mean, green, jade. Does anybody know what that color is? It's wacky. All right, and it just seems so incongruous with like, you know, the prestige of a Breitling watch, which is more of like a luxury watch. I know that some would say it's like a kind of like a tool watch, and maybe in the past they've been, but now they have an NFL, and it's a limited edition series, okay? And every single team has a watch. So all 32 teams, right, have their own watch, and they're all the same watch, which is the Chronomat. And you can get it on either the steel bracelet or this like I don't know what it is. This other bracelet. There's a crazy French name for it. Let me just click on the Dallas Cowboys edition. Oh, $8,800 for an NFL watch. Like, how many season ticket holders are going to be able to afford an $8,800 watch? I mean, it looks like a great watch, the Breitling Chronomat. I mean, I think it looks great, but you talk about like, hey, you know, this is the NFL. This is like, you know, a blue collar sport. This isn't like tennis or polo. This is you know, for the common man, right? Like how many mill workers in a Pittsburgh steel mill are gonna like come home on They're gonna be home on Sunday, sitting in the den watching the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, there's a Pittsburgh Steeler watch that's out now, and it's a Breitling. It only costs $9,000. A little bit outrageous, but anyways, I think it's pretty interesting how they list the what teams are listing at the top. So at the top of their webpage is the Dallas Cowboys, whose motto is "Party like it's 1995," right? The last time they won it all. And then next is the Miami Dolphins, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Green Bay Packers. And then you got to scroll over to see the Detroit Lions, and then the Las Vegas Raiders. So I don't know what that says. Those are at the top of the page, but when you click on the website to find your team, I am a Patriots fan. I am originally from New England. Been a Patriots fan my whole life, and the Patriots watch is like a really dark navy blue. It almost looks black in this photo. Let me see if I can find it. I'm scrolling through them, so those of you watching can see that there's not a whole lot of like standout colors, and you know, okay, the Minnesota Vikings have, together with the Dolphins, some ridiculous color because the Minnesota Vikings purple, right, and the Denver Broncos is orange. And the Bengals are orange, and I thought, oh, maybe the Browns would be orange, but the Browns are not. Okay, here's the New England Patriots. Let me click on that. And so, you know, I used to make a lot of New England Patriots videos. I used to make what's called the bold predictions here on the YouTube, and made a lot of friends in the football YouTube. And one of those guys is Cherokee Warrior 123, Brent Houdat, and you know he's a Texan, but he can't stand the Cowboys fans. He became a Saints fan, and anyways, this Patriots watch, you know, it has a strap you can change. You can change the strap. It's a black rubber or a metal bracelet, and there's like a French word for this type of bracelet. I think it's like rollaboo or something. It's like has some Cajun spelling. Oh wow, that steel bracelet looks fantastic. This actually looks really nice on the steel bracelet. and it looks like a bunch of like those like Chinese calendars you get at the Chinese restaurant. That's what the bracelet looks like. But I don't see where the name of the bracelet is. Oh, here it is. Roleaux. Rouleaux. Roleaux. And so both the rubber strap and the stainless steel have the same Roleaux pattern. Pardon my French. And so, will I get this? Well, no, it's way out of my price range. I'd have to sell, even if I sold all the cars that my family has, and we have a whole bunch of Fords. We have own 4 Fords in our family. If I sold all 4 of them, I don't think I could get $9,000 together for the cost of the watch. But it does look good. I mean, you have to be kind of a diehard fan to want a NFL logo on a luxury watch. But if you are a diehard fan, maybe in the ownership or whatever, I think that it looks great. But it's also a 42 millimeter diameter watch, so it's kind of small, which is another weird thing. That Breitling makes these big beefy watches, their diver's watch, one of which is 46 millimeters, but they chose a smaller watch for these special NFL watches, and it's an automatic power reserve, 70 hours. Pretty heavy. It's 199 grams. All right. And so, pretty interesting. What do you guys think? Are you going to buy a NFL edition Breitling watch? And, I have a lot of viewers and listeners outside the United States. You might not be NFL fans, but would you buy a luxury watch that was emblazoned in the sports team, whether it be soccer or Australian rules football or Canadian football, whatever kind of sport of the common man in your country? What would happen if they had a luxury watch that had a licensing deal with that sport? I don't know if Manchester United has a luxury watch, but it's kind of weird, right? And I would think that the NFL had a watch deal. I would think it would be with like Timex or something, maybe a little less expensive. But maybe the NFL lost a lot of viewership from the common man when they were kneeling on the national anthem. Remember that? That was quite the deal, huh? Well, anyways, back to the comment we're talking about. Chrono Commander 007 wrote this comment in my video called G-Shock Watch Out. The ProMaster Land is here. And he wrote, "Why would I want to look at you talking into a handheld mic in a poorly lit corner of a hot room? Otherwise, I only see promotional material. This is not a hands-on review, and a podcast-style format is not conducive to that kind of endeavor. Needs a lot of work because it's a tangled, unattractive mess. I got sleepy after 20 seconds. No insult intended, but if you want to compete with other reviewers, you have to do a lot better, even if it takes a lot of effort." And here's the thing, guys. All right, I'm going to respond to this comment. I am very nitpicky and critical of watches. It's like the whole premise of what we're doing here. We're nitpicking every little detail, okay? And we're very demanding watch customers here, okay? So I can dish it out. Can I take it in? All right. Well, I'm going to have to, right? Because I just imagine all these G-Shock engineers, watching my channel being like, I can't believe this guy Jim Kincaid is critiquing my work. I poured all my heart and soul in this watch, and he's just, threw it into his toolbox, and maybe it's demoralizing for some G-Shock engineers, but others rise to the occasion. I'm holding the bar up high, and some of those G-Shock engineers are like, we want to make a watch for Jim Kincaid and all of his viewers and those commenters, and they're rising to the occasion. So I'm getting a critique right in the comments. All right, so it's time to man up and face the music. Okay. I admit that I need a lot of work on my channel, okay? And you guys have to understand that, I was holding a handheld mic in that video because I live, over the road in the oil field, and I travel a lot. I cannot bring, like, I have a mic arm now. I cannot bring it with me. Okay. So I'm holding a mic, and I'm holding this mic. It's a Shure SM58, a really good mic for rejecting all of the chaotic noise around me. I was filming that in the man camp. I did not want to wake up Juan. He was in the room next to me. I'm not sure if that guy's name was actually Juan, because he also told me he did not speak English. And I was like, lo siento. And then, like, a few minutes later, he's like, all right, buddy, nice talking to you. Talk to you later. Bye. And when I told all the guys that, I was like, does he speak English? And they all started laughing. And they were telling me his name was not actually Juan. It was Julian. But anyways, it was like I did not want to wake him up. So I couldn't yell, kind of like I am now. I had to kind of keep quiet. And so I have this mic that kind of shuts out the noise because Tristan was in the other room having, like, the most rambunctious telephone call I've ever heard in an oil field man camp. All right. He was discussing, like, these business plans he had really loudly. And I don't know, maybe you could have heard them in the microphone. But in general, this microphone rejects a lot of the crazy noise because there's also a pit bull that lives in the woods, all in the brush beside the man camp. And sneaks into the man camp. The man camp has like a fence around it. He gets in and knocks over trash cans and then eats all the meat from the barbecue that you cooked. There's leftovers, you throw it away. This pit bull comes in. It's a male pit bull. It's a feral male pit bull. And it makes a lot of noise. So there's this chaos everywhere all over the man camp and the noisiest, slowest washing machines ever. All right. So total noise. I got the Shure SM58. Good noise rejection. That's why you see it on stage all the time. Even in high-dollar productions, they still use a Shure SM58 because there's no bleed-through with other instruments, at a concert. But anyways, I'm holding it by hand because I cannot carry this microphone stand. All right, poorly lit. Yes, I was at a oilfield man camp, filming off of a webcam on a ThinkPad from 2010. All right. But as far as the accusation, it's not a hands-on review. I was very clear it wasn't a hands-on review. I thought I made it very clear. I don't have the watch, but it had arrived and we had been talking about it. So I was trying to continue the conversation on the ProMaster land because a lot of guys were interested in it. And it's like it's not false advertising, okay? Because I did not tag that video at all as a review. Okay, I did not use the word review, and it bothers me. But let me get on to the next point because it kind of ties in. Actually, 2 points from now. Because the next point, he says it needs a lot of work. It's a tangled, unattractive mess. Yes, when you produce a video or podcast or whatever, you got to put a lot of pre-production into it for it to kind of like flow correctly. But I was so excited to see that this watch had come out. I didn't do a lot of pre-production. I kind of just winged it, right? I got all the slides together and we went through it, okay? And so, yes, I admit that it was a tangled, unattractive mess, but I'm like a 1990s website under construction, right? You remember those little GIFs, the animated GIFs they had back in the 1990s? Whenever you went to a website, it was like under construction. And it was always there. That little animated GIF of the website being under construction never went away. It was like they never actually finished the website. It was like a Massachusetts Department of Highways project. It never ends. Don't kill the job, Okay? So my channel, my podcast, all the stuff I do, it's always under construction, always getting incrementally better, but never being like really that good. So why do people tune in? I think people tune in because of the conversation we have, right? Because the information we discuss speaks to all of us. And there's a lot of good discussions in the comments, right? And the other reason is that I try to bring a lot of like information from real life. And the trade-off of having real life information is that I spend my time actually using the watches I review and less time, with like fancy graphics and B-roll and, like noises. Like, let me get a noise up and I'll give you an example. I'm going to have to go to my iPad, and then I'm going to go to, let me see, the ringtones. How do you change, Dave, how do you change the ringtones on your phone? Hold on, I think I found it. Nope, not notification. Sounds and haptics. Yeah, that's probably it. All right, let me just try one. All right, so I could make my video better if I just had like more crazy noises, right? So let me find the classic noises. Find like, okay, here, doorbell. Did you guys hear that? Let me turn it up. Ready? So I could have the doorbell noise playing and then like move my eyes back and forth with the doorbell noise. Ready? And then it could like cut to the next scene. Would that keep you awake, Chrono Commander 007? What other kind of noises could I have? Maybe a boing boing noise? Do we have that? Oh, I just accidentally changed my ringtone to doorbell. No. What else do we have? Classic sounds. Boing. All right, here we go. And then Chrono Commander would be like, "Oh yeah, I was about to fall asleep, but now there was a crazy noise, and Jim moved his eyes. I'm awake now." All right, but anyways, I'm like, you know, looking at this critique. So the other thing is that Chrono Commander 007 says, "No insult intended, but if you want to compete with other reviewers, you have to do a lot better, even if it takes a lot of effort." The thing is, I'm not competing against other reviewers. First of all, there's no other reviewer in my space. Like, well, actually there are, now that I think about it, but I'm not in competition with him. Tim Johnson, you know, he's out there actually doing real life reviews. That's the name of his channel. But I mean, like a lot of other reviews are tabletop reviews, and there's nothing wrong with a tabletop review, but I'm not in competition with them. Like the other video I mentioned, you know, the tabletop review guys, I was like, they'll probably get this ProMaster land a long time before I do, and they'll look at it on their tabletop review. And so all these questions we have about to watch could probably be answered by them. And I mentioned Watch Once Over. And then I brought up Watch Once Over today because he got to watch, well, in this case, it was the G-Steel 2100 series. It came out at night. It was like they must have got it. They got it before G-Shock even released it. G-Shock released it today. Watch Once Over had it Wednesday night, right? That was pretty wild. Like, I had gotten home. Everybody in my family was asleep. And then I got a notification of a new video from Watch Once Over. So I think it's because of his relationship with Arizona Fine Time, because they somehow get the watches. Like, there'll be watches that, you know, they don't even have in the United States yet, and then Arizona Fine Time will have them. All right. So I don't see myself as competing against other watch reviewers, but I do see myself competing against fake reviewers. And I've made a bunch of rant videos about fake reviewers. Fake reviewers make videos about a subject. They kind of use SEO techniques from the web and bring it to YouTube, where they make a video and they have it rank for a keyword in the search. Like if someone was searching for, you know, ProMaster Land by Citizen Watches or G-Steel by G-Shock, they would make a video that would rank as a result for that search, but they would not have the watch. They would not be a watch guy. They would have no knowledge about watches. And at first what they used to do is hire narrators from the website Fiverr. And I know this because I recognize some of the voices. Because I've hired voiceover artists from Fiverr on videos, like the Newton's Cradle watch, or excuse me, the Newton's Cradle video, where I made infomercials for the Newton's Cradle. I had a voiceover. I hired a voiceover from Fiverr. From the Buy the Monster Energy stock, where I told everybody, like, sell everything else you own to buy stock in Monster Energy. The beginning, it started out with, "This is not a solicitation to buy or sell any commodity. Consult your financial advisor." I hired a voiceover guy, okay? And then, you know, of course the video started and I was like, "Do not listen to your financial advisor." Like I contradicted the disclaimer. But anyways, I've hired a voiceover artist from Fiverr, and then I watch videos. I watch firearms videos. I watch camera review videos. And sometimes you stumble upon a video that's about, a watch or a firearm or a camera, and you can tell that the producer of that video knows absolutely nothing about that product. For example, in the firearms review videos, there was one that there was a voiceover artist, and he was like, you can buy this rifle chambered in 5.56 millimeters. Firearm guys don't say 5.56 millimeters, right? They'll be like 5.56 or 2.23, right? There's all these shibboleths that you can tell whether someone is actually in the community of whatever, interest it is. And so all of these fake reviewers, these fraudster reviewers, would hire voiceover artists, but that costs money. And so it went downhill really quick when AI came out, because then they were making fake review videos with AI, and all the content was like, the voiceover was AI too. So it's just a flood of low quality content, all right? And so I could make this video without showing my face. But the thing is, I'm in competition with poorly produced AI content, okay? I have to have my face on this video just to prove that I'm not an AI. I'm an actual guy, I'm Jim Kincaid. Hi. Let me tell you about my real life experience with watches. And the quality of the video isn't great, but it shows you that this is a real life review. Okay, I bang out of work. I go to the man camp, right? In the oil field, set up my little studio, whatever it is, and it's like all this old stuff, and I hit record, and I talk about a watch, and the point is that I'm not is that I have real life review, a real life experience with what I'm talking about. Okay, there's some reviewers that when the G-Shock GBDH2000 and the DWH56 came out, they were telling everybody on YouTube that this watch would last forever with solar charging. And I was like, no, it doesn't. There's nobody who gets more sun than I do, because I'm outside all day in Texas and the battery's running out. So I'm providing actual information. And the reason why these other guys provided incorrect information is because they were in such a hurry to be the first one to make a video about that watch that they just got caught up in the hype, the promotional hype. Okay, we're not like that around here. Okay, and so I told Chrono Commander 007, I was like, I'm trying to get it better. All right, yes, it's a tangled mess. Okay, and I told him that if he's more interested in hands-on reviews, to look at my shorts, because I make my shorts right there at work. Make sure no supervisors looking. All right, let me just film me trying to press the buttons on the Budman GW9500 while wearing work gloves. Does it work? And the answer is yes. And I'm like, there we go. That's good, right? So my shorts that I make have they're like very candid, okay? And sometimes you hear a lot of background noise. And I try to kind of touch up the audio a little bit so it's listenable, but I can only do the best I can. All right, so this channel is definitely quantity over quality. Okay, the quality's slowly improving, and I told Chrono Commander, check out my shorts. Okay, he said he'd have a look. Okay, and this podcast, the Beater Watch Pod, I think that he's not giving it enough credit, because it depends a lot on how you take in YouTube, right? I am a YouTube premium subscriber. All right, it costs, I don't know, like $18, $19 or something. It's not cheap at all, but it cuts out all the commercials. And also allows it that you can let YouTube play while your lock screen's on. Okay, I have my earphone in one ear or both ears if it's loud or whatever, but I listen to YouTube videos. Okay, and so I try in these videos that I put on the podcast list to make them as listenable as possible. And you might be like, how can you like make a podcast where you're talking about a watch? And what I try to do is minimize, say, hey, look at this or look at that, or do you see this? Do you see that? Because obviously podcast listeners cannot. I try as best I can, to describe what's on the watch. And guys who are really into watches can't imagine that. Like if I said, hey, G-Shock's making a new G-Steel watch, there's no LCD subdial, there's just 3 analog subdials. A G-Shock fanatic could imagine that, okay? And that's coming out. That's the 21 the GMC 2120, I think is what it's called. It's a leaked photo, unconfirmed. But anyways, I hope that I made that clear, right? And if you want to know about another website that is under construction, jimkincaid.com. All right, check it out. It has all my watch videos, watch content, and also the EDC stuff and some knives and flashlights. One more thing I want to talk about, and that is the Tissot. I got an email from Tissot. They released this PRX, a couple of PRXs that have a pretty cool gradient to the dial. And I love gradients, all right? And I happen to notice there's also, looks like a carbon fiber Tissot PRX. So that looks really interesting. Thought you guys might want to know that. And obviously the podcast listeners cannot see this gradient. One of the gradients is like black to purple. And I don't know anything about this. Oh, and then one of the gradients is like a light blue to purple. And the PRX, I don't even think the PRX could fit me. It's like, it's too small. All right, gentlemen, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kincaid. Thanks for watching.